Hello students, welcome to this online course of hydraulics engineering. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about the Rayleigh's method for dimensional analysis of different parameters. Now today we are going to, in the previous lecture also we have seen that what are the flaws if like variables are very high, then the method Rayleigh's method was becoming very much cumbersome, or it was very tedious process, like variables are very high, and also we were not sure about how many exact dimensional numbers are going to occur in our final equation. So to like Buckingham has analyzed this problem and he came up with his own idea, which later after his name it was termed as Buckingham's pi theorem. So basically he introduces the pi terms. Let us try to understand in more clear way. So Buckingham's pi theorem is basically dimensional analysis method for reducing the number and complexity of experimental variables that affects a given physical phenomenon by using a sort of compacting technique. So basically whatever we are doing, like dimensional analysis, whether it is by the method of Buckingham or by the method of Rayleigh, what we are exactly doing, we are reducing the number and complexity of the experimental variables. Like in the previous lecture also I have said, like in lab we are doing some experiment and gradually we figured out like these are the parameters on which some physical quantity is depending upon. So how we are going to reduce all the quantities, or how we are going to correlate each of them, that is a method called as dimensional analysis. Now let us say if a phenomena depends on n dimensional variables, then dimensional analysis will reduce the problem to only k dimensional variables, where this reduction, that is n minus m, can be 1, 2, 3, or depending upon the complexity of the problem. So generally n minus k is what? K is the dimensionless variables. So n minus k will be equal to the number of different dimensions that governs the problem. So sometimes called as basic or primary or fundamental dimensions, that we have discussed in our second lecture. So MLT and theta, or FLT and theta. Now in fluid mechanics, the basic 4 dimensions are usually taken as mass, length, time and temperature. So there are several methods of reducing a number of dimensional variables into a smaller number of dimensional groups. So in order to do this, the first scheme was proposed by Buckingham in 1914, and now it is called as Buckingham's pi theorem. The name pi comes from the mathematical notation pi, meaning a product of variables. So this pi is denoted to, let me show you, generally summation. This is for summation, sum, and if we are multiplying like various terms, then we use pi. So due to multiplication, this is termed as Buckingham's pi theorem. Now the dimensionless groups to be found from the theorem are power product denoted by pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. We will see what this pi 1, pi 2 and pi 3 etc. means. The method allows the pi groups to be found in sequential order without resorting to free exponents. So let us just try to understand what does this mean. So there are two part of this theorem, pi theorem. First is, if a physical process satisfies the principle of dimensional homogeneity and involves n dimensional variables, it can be reduced to a relation between only k dimensionless variables. So I will explain this point. Let us first try to understand what these statements are telling. The reduction j, that will be equal to n minus m, equals the maximum number of variables that do not form a pi among themselves and is always less than or equal to the number of dimensions describing the variables. That means, let us say we are having a 7 parameters, force is there and it is depending upon 6 other parameters. So total parameters will be 7. Now J is what? J is the basic fundamental dimensions. That means if you are taking sum of 2-3 parameters and they are not making a pi among themselves. Pi means the pi dimension of pi is 0 0 ml m power 0 l power 0 t power 0. So that means it is a dimensionless group. So we have to choose some parameters like this that they cannot make a pi group among themselves. Clear? Now let us try to understand the second part. Now find the reduction j. We have to find the reduction j. J is what? N minus m. So in this case we were having n as 7 and m will be 3 or 4. Maximum it can be 4 in fluid mechanics. So j will become 7 minus 3, then it will be 4. If m is equal to 4, then 7 minus 4 will be 3. So it will be 3 or 4. Then we have to select j scaling variables that do not form a pi group themselves. Each desired pi group will be a power product of these j variables plus one additional variable, which is assigned any convenient non-zero exponent. Each pi group thus found is independent. So basically what we have to do, we have to first we have to identify various parameters, then we have to check like what are the parameters which cannot make a pi group among themselves, whatever condition we can apply. Then we have to form the pi groups depending upon the given question. So typically 6 steps are involved. So let us try to understand what these two parts are telling and how we are going to apply these in our problems. First we have to list and count the n variables involved in the problem. If any improper variables are missing, dimensionless analysis will fail. So first we have to just identify the total number of variables. We have to be very careful. If any important variable is missing, then we will be failing to solve the purpose. Then we have to list the dimensions of each variables according to MLT theta or FLT theta. But basically in this course I will be using MLT form only. Then we have to find j. Initially we have to guess it, but as you will solve number of problems, then you will be easily and rapidly apply to find the value of j. Next we have to select a scaling parameter that do not form a pi group. That you will check like how you are going to do. Then we add one more additional variable to j, repeating variables. So j is nothing but the repeating variables, and we will be forming a product for power product group that will be termed as pi. Then we will be writing the final dimension as function, and we will check the terms to make sure all pi groups are dimensionless. So I am taking the same problem which we have done by the method of using the Rayleigh's method. So here let me just tell you like how we are basically going to do that. So step number 1, we will be taking like this sum variable is function of, let me just clear it. What is the basis of this theorem? So like all the variables phi1, phi2, phi3, let us just directly use pi only, so confusion will not be there. Clear? Pi1, pi2, pi3 and so on is 0. So if the value which we are eager to calculate is in pi1, then the function will change and this will be a function of other pi groups. So we will be using this. Clear? So let us try to solve the same problem earlier which we have solved with the help of Rayleigh's method. So what does this method saying? The drag force Fd on a sphere in a laminar flow is known to depend on diameter d, velocity v, density of fluid rho and coefficient of viscosity mu. Obtain an expression of Fd using Buckingham's pi method. So this is our Fd is depending upon diameter d, velocity of flow rho, and mu. Now we have to choose a basic parameters, repeating variables. Always try to try to find the parameters, like first take from geometric condition, second kinematic, and third dynamic. Okay, so here kinematic parameter v is given, so one repeating variables will be v, that will be repeating in the each and every pi group. Second, the geometry is there, so geometry will be d, and third is dynamic, so either we can take mu or rho, any one we can take, and from this part the calculation will be same as that of in Rayleigh's method. So let us see how we are going to do. So step number 1 is functions. You have to write the function and count the variables. So total variables are 5: ft, diameter, velocity, density, and what, this viscosity. Now we have to check the dimensions. So fd, d, v, rho, and mu. So why I am telling you to choose from like geometric, kinematic, and dynamic parameter? Because here you can see L is there, T is there, and M is here. Okay, so this T, if I am multiplying L into D into rho, they are not going to make the pi group. Anything I will be applying, any power, any experiment I am doing with d, v, rho, they are not going to make a dimensionless group because T is always there. Okay, so v square by L, v square by d will be always, T term will always be there. Similarly, rho, in rho, mu, or m, there is a mass is there. So whatever I am doing with rho vd, this mass term will be remaining there. So again pi will not going to form. And similarly L is there. So if rho multiplied by v or d, again as rho is not having L term, so they are not going to cancel out. So that is why we usually choose from geometric group, kinematic group, and the dynamic group. Clear? So we have found the dimensions of each variable. Now we have find j. J is nothing but 3, as I have told you, 3 repeating variables will be there, d, v, and rho. So j is 3. So finally we are having k. K is the pi group which guarantees for this problem. So there will be 2 number of pi groups, 5 minus 3. Here you can see it. So here this is 5 minus 3. So m is 3. So that is why 2 number of pi groups will be formed. Now let us see how we are going to solve. So pi 1 will be repeating variables, means any number of pi groups, these variables are going to repeat. So in pi 1 also, in pi 2 also, there will be 2 pi groups. So in pi 1 also and pi 2 both will have the d, v, and rho as their repeating variables. Now we will have to choose the other 2 parameters. Like first in pi 1 we will take ft, and in pi 2 we will take mu. After this nothing is there. We have to write the dimensions L, Lt minus 1, Ml minus 3, and we have to club this with force, and we have to equate this with the pi group dimensions, that is nothing but m0, L0, T0. So you can see if here it is 0 by dimensional homogeneity, here also ABC will come like this, so that this group will also become dimensionless. So after calculating all these values, you will get pi 1 as fd by rho v square d square. You can check fd, dimension of fd, and rho v square d square are same. Now for pi 2 we will be taking the mu as our second parameter. After calculation you will get pi 2, here it is pi 2 not pi 1, mu upon rho vd. So in later term you will be knowing this number as Reynolds number, nothing but the Reynolds number. So again we have got the same values as we have calculated by Rayleigh's method. So finally we have to express fd in terms of this. So this is nothing but this we already know. So we have put the values like this. Now we have taken the fd by rho vd square outside. So this will become a second function, that is 5. So fd is nothing but rho v square d square, 5 times the Reynolds number. So same value we were getting, but in this time first thing we were knowing exactly how many pi groups are going to form, and secondly the equations were not that much tough to calculate. So second question again I am taking the second problem of Rayleigh's method. Now I will be going a little bit faster. So the number of variables are 7 here: f, l, v, d, rho, mu and e. Write down all the equations. Again I am going to take the v, d and rho as our repeating parameters. So in this case we will be having 4 number of pi groups. So pi 1 you can calculate, pi 1 is coming same, pi 2 is also coming same. Now pi 3, just take the values, you are getting L by D, again it is a dimensionless parameter. Pi 4 is E by rho v square, again it is also coming out to be the same dimensionless problem. Final, this is the important step, you have to write the final equation in this form. Okay, so this is required, this will be termed as your answer. You cannot stop any step earlier. Okay, so this is all about the Buckingham's pi method. In the next lecture we will be learning about the model analysis. So this is all for today. Thank you.